Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to the School Science. My name is Luke and this is the Everton Stadium update for Saturday the 15th of June 2024. Now, before we kick this off today, it is with my utmost sadness to inform you guys that Kevin Campbell has unfortunately passed away. I don't really want to go too much into it. From what I can gather, it's just due to issues that he's had over the recent past, and I would just like to send out my condolences to his family and people who were close to him. He was a really, really loved player at Everton as well as at Arsenal Football Club. But yeah, looking over the site today, there's a nice little bit of update should I say, of everything that's going on around the site. So one thing that I have been informed on, and I would like to thank quite a few people for mentioning this for me. So the slightly more profound holes that you can see in the barrel cladding, Darren has actually commented and says, the barrel cladding sections that stand out have large vents behind them. The holes are bigger just as they are, and they are apparently intentional, so it's to allow a little bit more airflow. So I'm a little confused why we have air vents in a stadium. I'm assuming this is a ventilation system that's going to go inside, so where your mezzanine and all that, your concession areas and whatnot are. That's the most, obvious answer. And he's also mentioned about the area in the southeast corner, so we're going to come to that in a minute. So that is just for trees. So there's going to be soil and everything put into there, because obviously you're going to need soil and nice fresh water rather than salt water and sand to grow trees in that area. So yeah, I'd like to thank Darren for that. Also, he did mention about the safe standing as well. So the safe standing is going to be trialled at a 1-to-1 basis, so 1 seat for 1 standing spot. And if the UK government approves safe standing, they may change it to 3 standing spots. 3 standing spots to 2 seating spots. These spots would have ticket numbers on them. So again, thank you very much for clearing all that up. We can see nice little bits of updates here on the Fan Plaza as well. So they are progressing rather nicely, bringing the second phase inwards. Again, this is one I'm going to probably say time and time again. I cannot wait to see the Everton Way start getting put in, because that is going to be one of the ones that everyone is going to want to see first. Well, it's one of the things a lot of people are going to want to see first, because so many people have got one of them plaques that are going to be on the south stand. So we want to go and see them. So that's probably going to be one of the first areas I'm going to beeline to, because I've got one there. And it's basically me, my mum and my granddad, our names and our year of birth. I just figured that would be a nice thing to put in there. But yeah, I really want to see that put in place. I want to see where we are. And I'm hoping we're close to our turnstile. So anytime I'm going into the stadium, I can look down, see that, smile, go in, and have Everton ruin my day. Only kidding. But yeah, looking over the south stand at the moment, not too much going on right now in regards to south stands as well as updates that we can really see. A lot of the work that's going on right now is inside the stadium. So dressing room right now, home and away one, are getting updated as we speak. So what you'll probably find is inside of the dressing room, in the very centre circle of the dressing room, there's a gigantic Everton plaque. So that thing has actually been made in segments. They've now put it together, and I'm assuming there's going to be a vinyl layer that goes over it, or they're going to get someone who's professional to paint that so it actually stands out rather nicely. And then above it, obviously, you've got the LED lighting and everything to make it pop that little bit more. But yeah, it is exciting times at the moment, just because once all this is done and dusted and the stadium is ready to go, I'm hoping we can actually get a pre-season friendly in there before we really kick things off or get the Premier League going. So what we could potentially do is, at the end of next season, we have one final game in Goodison Park, and then we have another game shortly afterwards, probably say 5 days to a week later. We could actually have a pre-season friendly at Bramley Moor. So we have a final game, and then the week later we have a first game in there. I think that would be a very touching thing to do. It would just be a really nice way to see off Goodison, have one final one, and then christen Bramley Moore, be it in a nice friendly environment, because if we have a proper Premier League game and we get absolutely battered at Bramley Moore, it won't be a nice omen to start out on. So a pre-season friendly is a nice way to christen the ground. Just as long as we're not playing Scotland, because I will admit that Scotland game was absolutely dreadful last night. I watched it, a good chunk of it anyway. They fell apart. They fell apart, the absolute seams. I mean, it took Germany scoring in their own net to make sure that there wasn't a clean sheet. It was quite literally a corner went in, and every single German player had touched it before it went into their own net. I don't even think one of the Scottish players actually was involved in it. But yeah, as we go over the West Stand at the moment, it is coming along rather nicely. It's nice to see the cladding as well across the front where the staircase is and all that. When we go over and actually have a view of the car park and everything, so we have the car park area as well as the West Stand's outer area, you'll notice there's actually a stairway as sort of separated. So it's weird how it's sort of two-tiered. So you can see the stairway there as well, just by where the waterway is going to be. I'll be honest, I knew it was going to be there, but I just couldn't see it up until recently. This is the first time I've actually seen it and paid attention to it. It's one that's actually slipped my grasp, really. But yeah, looking over the site, it is coming along superbly well. I've always got that positive attitude about me, haven't I? But yeah, and alongside that, you can actually see developments on the car park. Just out of curiosity though, we know that this is all sort of landlocked. Can you actually go into the next dock system? So I could go, say for example, from Bramley Moore Dock over to Nelson Dock. So walk further up and follow that dock system up to the Isle of Man ferry terminal where that's getting built. That, just out of curiosity, if anyone knows about that. Also, I don't know why I was doing that zoom in there. I wanted to try and zoom in so you could see the gutterway where they're actually doing work. So they're actually putting the concrete and getting everything sort of lined out so they can actually get the water flowing again and all that. But as we now look over the North Stand again, I tried to get this one as low as possible, and I do struggle week to week to try and see too much going on around the North Stand. Like I said, this is one of the first ones that was done, so it's one of the ones that's going to be sitting idly for the longest, because things don't look like they've moved. The genie there that you can see, the cranes look like they're in the exact same spot. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong. I can't confirm that 100%, but this side of it does look done apart from the groundwork, and I'm assuming when the fan plaza's done, it's going to start bleeding up into here, so that's all going to get finished off, done and dusted. But overall, it is nice to see. It's nice that the glass is all there, as someone did say in one of the previous videos. Whoever is going to be cleaning them glass is going to make an absolute mint, because there are so many panes of glass there. And it'll be interesting to see how they actually do clean them. I'm assuming there's a hydrophobic layer on the outside here, so it's a lot harder for dirt to cling to it. But you never know. You never know with these industries. There's probably a reason why there isn't a hydrophobic layer on there. But overall, the stadium is coming along extremely nicely. We can see as well that the cladding on the roof and everything. So we're in the final stage when it comes to the East Stand. As someone mentioned to me prior, once the East Stand is in its final couple of layers, they can actually put the cladding in place. So with the East Stand coming to its finish, they're now pretty much getting it all closed in. So probably say about mid to late August, I would like to guess that the cladding will be finished, as well as the roof cladding obviously. But yeah, coming inside now into the actual bowl of the stadium. I know some people have a bit of an issue me calling it a bowl because of being rectangular. But if you were to go to IKEA or anything like that, you will find rectangular bowls, so fight me. But yeah, the pitch work and everything, so we can actually see they've started lining things out and whatnot. So there's not too much to see. The main stuff that I'm seeing right now is more in line with the putting the cladding as well on the extended pieces of the roof. This is the area where pretty much you're going to see, well, it's going to protect people where the seating and everything is. But other than that, there's not too much. I can see the tunnelway, and you can see pipe work and everything, whether it be for the, the sprinkler system, or whether it be for the electrics or the little advertisement boards and everything. Anyone's guess. But seeing the rail seating down here right now, it's nice to see that getting put into place. It's kind of weird how you've got one line of it that is nice and neat. Well, 2 lines should I say. So 2 rows of them looking really nice and really neat. And all the others look like they're being put everywhere. I obviously know what's happened there. So the ones that are neatly lined, that was the little piece that Everton were using, you know, to advertise things and whatnot. So they make the video. They get like, I think they had Leon Osman and another Everton legend in there to have a look at the actual insides of the stadium, have a look at the seating and whatnot, and they had them sort of sitting there for that video. It's a very confusing time right now. My head is quite literally all over the show right now, but things are moving along rather nicely. I cannot complain at all. I'm excited for this to get finally finished. We can then come into the stadium, watch things turn for the better for a change. Because right now, this is probably one of the reasons why PSR is pretty much breathing down our necks of every waking day right now. It's solely for the fact of the stadium at the moment, you know, the interest payments and all that lovely stuff. I miss the days when where football fans could just be football fans. Long gone are them days, aren't they? We have to be bloody experts in every single field now just to sort of enjoy football. We need to understand the finances of football. We've got to understand certain attributes, pros and cons of certain things, tactics, formations. There's so much about football that you have to understand in order to be a fan of it. And it's a shame. I miss the days where I could just sit back and enjoy a game. But in any case, guys, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Take care and peace.